That should be better then. That was a lot of me talking for no reason. Always a good time. I was probably silent on YouTube as well. Is that better? I'm sure that's better. I can see my mic. Oh, I can see my audio now. So that's good. All the little things that can go wrong. Anyways, I had to restart everything. Hi, Kylie. I had to restart everything. Anyways, I guess we could restart. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, February 6th. Wow, we are already into, not February, March 6th, 2024. We're already into our third month of the year, which is great because I'm still painting. I thought I would have given up week 3, and we're on week 10. But don't discount that I might quit still, because I'm only a fifth of the way there. And it doesn't sound like that's that much, but it seems to be a lot. Anyways, this week we picked the African elephant for the animal that we're using, and I'm doing another skateboard. So I did some research. I looked up some pictures of some elephants. I found what I liked. I found a bunch of stuff that I don't like. And there's actually a couple interesting issues with doing elephants on skateboards. Back in, I want to say the late 90s, early 2000s, probably late 90s, Mike Vallely rode for Black Label, and Black Label put out, and they had an elephant as their logo on a skateboard. So I want to stay away from that. Also, Mike Vallely released a board with PAL or Peralta, which we'll take a look at in a second. And he released a skateboard with an elephant's head on it. So I really want to stay away from that. So I think I found a picture that I like. I think it's a little bit more interesting. I'm kind of still trying to figure out how I'm going to merge it with the subject matter and what I want. There's two kind of things I want to do. The other thing is I really want to put in the elephant from Tarzan, the one that goes, "It's a piranha," that elephant, and I want to recreate them standing in water. And I'll show you why once we get to the photo that I want to use. But first, let's kind of do some research. I know on Monday was kind of a low energy show, and we kind of just suffered through getting through the, what were we doing? The axolotl, which I did finish, by the way. So let's check that out real quick, and then we will jump into today's project, because I really need to get started on this project. I'm going to work on being better about that. So let's jump into the studio real quick. We'll check out the axolotl, and then we'll jump back over and we'll look at the African elephant, because we do need to do a little bit of research about the African elephant, get some facts. Maybe that'll help shape the story a little bit as we draw. Oh, sorry, no face for me. There you go. Oh, no scrolling bar. So here we have our axolotl. Let me just quickly move this. This is pretty cool because I think it came out well when it was all said and done. I put a lot of blue into it to give it shadow. I think it was risky, and I don't know if I love it, but I think it helped it a lot. It gave it more of a bottom and kind of difference between his front and his back, and I kind of could probably put more shading, but I'm nervous, and every time I get to this point, I get nervous because I want it to be all pink, right? Like my brain wants this axolotl to be pink because when I see it, I know it's pink, so it should be the same color pink and just shaded nicely and round. And but that's not how it works. It has different colors in it. So I did this. Now, this one's pretty cool because I did some subtle detail that like you can really only see in person, and I can't tell whether it looks better in person because then you got to look close up, and then looking close up at some spots of this are like, I didn't really want to see that close. But so if you look, like I put the bubbles in the background. They're really light and faint. They're just barely there, just to give it a little bit of depth when you look at it. His face could really use some help, but I'm really nervous on where I should shade in blue and where I shouldn't to make it look, so you don't want it to look that close at his face. But they can't all be perfect because we're doing 52 paintings in a year, and that's just silly. That's just dumb. No one wants to try that. It just sounds awful. So I did put my little UFO in there, and he would be a silhouette. So he's not inside the UFO, but he's looking out the landing bay as he's sucking up this axolotl from under the water, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. But he's in chrome, so he kind of catches your eye every once in a while where he'll disappear and come back with the rabbit, and then he turns black. It's his default. So sometimes he's white, sometimes you can't even notice him. It just depends on what angle you're looking at it from. And the last cool feature, of course, of this was we've seen in the last couple episodes. It is it's blacklight reactive, which is pretty cool. So if we hit the lights, right, the fluorescent colors kind of pop. See, I could have, I don't know if I like the face. I used a little bit of the yellow to shade the face, but maybe that was a bad idea. You see that? It's not a great idea. I do like how it comes around his arms on the outside, though. On the inside of this arm. Makes it look better. So, yeah, cool. Cool, right? Whatever. Anyways, that's what we have to say. Oh, look, see how it glows? Our little friend back there, he glows, and I like it. I like the insert up there where he's looking out of the bottom hole. Anyways. Ooh, bling. Sorry, I didn't mean to blast you guys with light, but I did mean to blast you guys with light. There's some more. Anyways, that's that one. Pretty cool overall. Maybe. Should probably hit the eyes with that glow too, I could probably hit some other spots with it. But it doesn't glow in regular light. I mean, it just looks green. Looks like really patchy green paint in the real light. So it's kind of like, you can see all sorts of imperfections. Like, look at that. You see that? What is this? Like, would not smooth out. I don't know. It's a painting. It's done. Cool. Move on. Get on with your life. I still might do some, I was thinking about doing some texturing inside the UFO, but then when I actually thought of it, I was like, it's got to be circular and at an angle, and I don't know how to draw those panels, so I just was like, well, maybe I'll leave it for a different day. So I think I'm going to leave it for a different day and then kind of give it a little sketch before I actually do it. But for now, I'm going to hang this one up. I think we're going to call it good. I drew an axolotl. Yay. I did it with the UFO. Fantastic. We're all good. All right. What time is it? Oh. So that's that. Fun. Great job. All right. So we get back into it, and here we are. Let's pull out. Should we do information first? Probably. Do research first. Get some ideas, and then let's talk about where we're at with everything. Okay. So let's go to the desktop since we've nicely set it up here for ourselves. My phone is going to drive me crazy because I can't. And this is going to drive me crazy, so we're just going to. I need my mouse pad in front of me. I can't work with it behind me. Okay. So let's go into ChatGPT. Should we get some ChatGPT information about the elephant? Let's do that. Copy. Please give me some accurate and interesting information about African elephants. So we're just going to ask it for some accurate information. It's really funny when you have it like write it in a style of something. Wow. Thanks, ChatGPT. Just give me a lot. Oh, dear Lord. 11 key facts. All right. Put on your reading glasses because here we go. Absolutely. African elephants are majestic and intelligent creatures with several fascinating characteristics. Size. African elephants are the larger of the two elephant species, with males weighing between 5,000 to 14,000 pounds. Wow. And standing 8 to 13 feet tall. Tall at the shoulder. 8 to 13 feet tall at the shoulders. Females are slightly smaller. Trunks. Their elongated trunks are a distinctive feature and serve various functions. The trunk is a function of the nose and upper lip. Okay. So like the whole face is like from that. It's used for breathing, smelling, drinking, grabbing objects, and communication. What can't the trunk do? Pretty much everything that this elephant needs to do, it can do with its trunk. Amazing. Like, what else do you need to do in life? Breathe, smell. Those are two great things that you can do. Drinking, perfect. You usually need hands to drink, but he can also grab objects with his trunk, so double time. And communication. He talks with it. Great. What else do you need in life? You could just be a trunk. Ears. Okay, maybe it needs ears. All right, so we know it's a trunk. It's got a mouth. Got a head. African elephants have large ears that are shaped like the continent of Africa. Oh, wow. These ears help regulate their body temperature by dissipating heat. Okay. So I got to draw. That's pretty like good information for me being an artist. Now I can actually like, okay, well, if I know what the shape of Africa is, great. If I don't know what the shape of Africa is, and I only know what the shape of, North and South America, you're going to have a really weird, funny looking droopy ear, which is going to look terrible. Or like an ear with an earring or some kind of weird growth. It's going to be bad. 2 ears on each other. Anyways, communication. Elephants communicate using a variety of sounds, including trumpeting, rumbling, and low frequency vocalization that can travel long distances. They also use body language such as ear flapping and trunk gestures. Ooh. Fancy. Fancy. 6. Intelligence. African elephants are known for their high level of intelligence and problem-solving abilities. These exhibit self-awareness, empathy, and strong memory, which aids them in remembering locations of water sources and recognizing individuals. You never knew. You never knew. I wonder if that the elephant that's a painter, if it's an African elephant. Diet. Their diet consists mainly of grasses, but they also consume leaves, fruits, barks, and roots. Adult elephants can eat up to 300 pounds. 300 pounds of food per day? What do they eat though? That's the question. I have video of, I'm not feeding an elephant bananas, but my friend is. We're in Thailand and we're on some crazy scooter adventure with no helmets and chaos. It's a good time. Young and crazy. I should get that video put together. One day I'll get all my Thailand footage and put it together and try to tell the story. I don't know. I don't know what story's there. There's so many stories. One day. Okay. Conservation status. African elephants face threats such as habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, and poaching for their ivory tusks. They are classified as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Red List. Migration. In some regions, African elephants undertake seasonal migration in search of food and water covering significant distances. Gestation period. Female elephants have a long gestation period of about 22 months, which is the longest of any land mammal. Calves are highly dependent on their mothers for several years. Okay. Only several years though, right? Like 22 months is a long time to be on the inside though. I mean, but that's a lot to grow. You're growing a big thing in you, as an elephant. And I guess at some point that's why you would have to eat 300 pounds. What are the size of African elephants at birth? I don't know. What? Elephants has to learn how to use their trunks. They have little control when they're young. There are laws that protect and make selling, owning, trading their tusks for ivory illegal. Yeah. I know they're wanted for their ivory because they got those big things on their face. Like all these ChatGPT animals are like on the endangered species list because I think it's just skimming like what's trending, and what's trending is like narwhals and red pandas and just that's what's happening. All right. So keystone species. Elephants play a crucial role as a keystone species, shaping their ecosystem by influencing vegetation and creating water holes through their feeding and digging activities. Conservation efforts are ongoing to protect African elephants and their habitats. These magnificent animals are not only iconic symbols of wildlife, but also integral components of the ecosystem. I wasn't planning on drawing an elephant in a group. I was planning on. Well, see, the problem is, well, we'll just have to take a look at the problem. Okay, so let's just jump over here because I already prepped some stuff for us. But like I said, I hate using Google because Google just wants to put the big picture on the right side, and then we can't use it for the stream. So I have to resort to using Bing, which is not what I want to use, but it's fine. Bing's actually pretty good. Look at how happy that elephant looks. That's a good elephant. I like that one. Okay, but first we're going to look at some problems here. So here's a few examples that I want to stay away from. This is a famous skateboard company called Black Label. I had plenty of Black Labels. Actually, I have a Black Label that probably no one's seen ever in my room. It's somewhere. I think I've recently put it away for safekeeping. But yeah, my friend Christopher Troy used to, or still does, skate for Black Label. And I got a lot of boards from him during the time we hung out. So pretty cool. But I don't want to copy this. I want to stay away from. And it's very iconic skateboard logo for this brand. It was like basically their brand logo. So you have a lot of different versions of this elephant. And then years later we had Mike Vallely. He came out with elephant skateboards with Pal Peralta. I was right. Sometimes I'm smart. About the weirdest things, like who cares about Mike Vallely and this elephant skateboard? I remember seeing this graphic and being like, well, that's pretty cool. 2018. They released this board, I guess, somewhere around there. The sticker's $7.99. The prices of things are crazy. Crazy weird. I don't get how anyone prices anything anymore. Yeah. So this design was pretty popular, and I really just kind of don't want to get on the same level as this. And it would be easy to do. Like, it makes sense that the skateboard should be on that side, and like, so here's another pretty interesting elephant skateboard. Yeah, I remember this one too. This one's $200. It's crazy autographed. I have some autographed skateboard stuff. Okay. But all my skateboards are in Los Angeles, actually. Hanging up on someone's wall. Most of them. Except for the Black Label that no one's ever seen. It's a little intense, that's why. Let's see. So yeah, here that's what we got. I actually really like this African elephant. I'm gonna do a quick save real quick. Fine. Just a quick save. Just so that I have it for later. They're a very interesting looking animal, to be honest. Look how many wrinkles they have. And their tusk isn't round. I know they can swim really well. Other things I want to know. How much does a baby elephant there we go. After a gestation of 22 months, female elephants give birth to a single calf weighing 200 to 250 pounds. That's like two humans hugging each other. Like normal size humans. That must be like an enormous amount of weight to get it rid of. But I guess it's like all relative, right? Because like elephants are big. I wonder what the relativity of that is. Sorry, guys. Like, we give birth to children that are 10 pounds, 5 pounds. I don't know. I've never been part of that, but they come out a size. So whatever size that is, divided by how much like a female weighs. And then you get what you need. But I don't know. Okay, let's do the math, I guess. We're here. Average baby size. This is why it should be called Down the Rabbit Hole, because average baby size in the US. I'm supposed to be painting. That's like the plan. But this is why I don't get anything done. The average baby weighs 7 pounds 3 ounces. 5 to 10 wasn't bad, okay? I wasn't completely off. At least I wasn't like 18 pounds. That would have been crazy. So 7 pounds, okay? Average adult. I gotta write this down, because if I don't write this down, and this is also why I have post-it notes everywhere with nonsense on them. Because like, why did I need this equation? But I will. We're just gonna have fun with it. Then we're gonna get to drawing, because as you can see, I'm trying to procrastinate. Okay. So we have 200 to 250 pounds for average weight of that. And then we have, just say 7 pounds, okay? Adult female in the US, okay? We're just going to see how, 16 to 18, no. I want, well, when do you start having babies? I don't know. Let's say ages, I mean, you're a consenting adult at 18. I don't think they should be having, I mean, no, I don't know. It's pretty young to have a baby. A lot of life to live before you get to, let's say, just 18 to 40. See if they have that range. Men, women, fast stats, CDC. Are we going to believe this? Height is weight in pounds? No. Really? $170? Dang. That's average? Dang. Okay, let's put in 170. Then yeah, definitely our babies are smaller to us, considering, I think. Because that's 7 to 170, so that's... Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. It's 1/24th. It's 20. That's not 25%. What did I do wrong? I did the math wrong. What did I do wrong? Well, yeah. Well, it said that so it says that the female elephants help babies sit. The female elephants help babysit the babies, and they will mourn when one of them dies. So they pretty much take care of their young, and then it did say that they showed empathy. So we're quite aware that. I guess that's pretty sad, though. I don't think like sadness is the feeling that you wanna like witness, right? But that's kind of where we see emotion the most. Like we can visually see emotion the most. I guess we can see it when they're happy, but what does a happy elephant look like? I don't know. I've never. Huh. Interesting. And then if we go back to ChatGPT, we're missing a few numbers that we need. 300 pounds a day, though, like 14,000 pounds. But the females are less, so like the average between those two is what? So we could probably say a good female weighs about 10,000 pounds. Yeah, so this should be easy math. Why am I like blanking on how this gets done? So let's say we have a cub or a baby elephant that's 200 pounds and the mom is 1,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds, 200. 0.2% of their body. So it's 2%. And then if we do 7 divided by, it's 4%. So the actual human baby is more of a percentage of the entire body of the animal than the elephant. The elephant's actually, the small elephant's less. So a human would feel it more, as in like a loss of weight. Like an elephant, like it'd just be like, oh, there's something uncomfortable. There's a 200-pound something uncomfortable growing out of me. Interesting. Okay, anyways, down that rabbit hole, wasting a bunch of time. We got 20 minutes, give or take. We're going to get down to it, and we're going to draw some stuff. So let's hop back over into the studio, where we will continue talking about our project at hand. So, skateboard. Terrible to film, like always, because they're just in a really weird position. I don't think I'm going to need any more visuals from my computer, so I'm going to move a few things real quick, and we'll get back to what we need to do. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you down math lane, but that happens a lot with me, where I'm just like very interested in what, how the math all works out. So here's the new skateboard. I did some work, I did some research, I did some printing of some pictures, I did a lot of things. But I also did some sanding. And this just has such a thick layer of clear coat. Like, good on you for putting a nice thick layer of clear coat. So this thing probably, if you skated it and you didn't break it, I've actually jumped on one of these a few times and heard a couple cracks and things that I was like, I don't know if I'd trust that to take it down a set of stairs or anything. I'd probably take it off a curb, play with it in a parking lot somewhere, but as far as like trusting it not to snap on me, I don't know. It's cracky. But this is what you get when you pay for, I think I bought 10 boards off Amazon, and they were like $150, so $15 a piece. But just fun canvas to paint on, something a little bit more interesting and something a little bit more, I feel, sellable. You can specifically sell things like this to people who like to skateboard and also people who like to collect art. There's kind of a skateboard art movement thing happening right now, so I don't know why. I've had these skateboards laying around my house forever and I haven't done anything with them, so they just need to get used, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to get things done. Anyways, skateboard's finished. We'll get back to this in a second. We're going to pop through a couple of drawings and look at what, not drawings, these are Xerox copies. These are just print offs that I did real quick, and kind of like figuring out which elephant I want to use. Some of these are just no good and they're just used for, I didn't say the elephants were no good. Some of these just are for, getting some angles and some visuals of like where things will go. But boy, they have quite the textured skin. I don't know if you can zoom in here, but that skin is so textured, which is cool. It's going to be a new avenue for me to work on. But there you have the ears that we were talking about, this shape of the ear. And I can draw on these because these are just my study pieces. So sometimes it helps me to like draw something to kind of like get the idea of like, what are we doing here? So this ear actually goes like this, because this is head. This part is like part of his head. Okay, so like that's good to know. I'm like, does the ear go out and over? Kind of just define this part. And this also isn't the picture I'm going to use, but just helps me get a good idea of like, what does this animal actually look like? And I don't have to draw it, I can just casually kind of, mess around and trace. It's not that serious. Maybe we want to put the eye in. And an eyelid. Eye in. Something like that, right? So we're just tracing it, having a little bit of fun with it. Cool. I like it. Here's another one. That elephant looks short. Doesn't look very healthy either. I like this elephant, but it's kind of boring. Looks sad. He probably was sitting with his elephant that just passed away. He's like, well, that's terribly sad. Then we have this elephant, just another kind of picture. The tusks on this elephant are super long, which I find really interesting. And this head shape is quite interesting too. Like, you really have like a very, you know, like this part is so wide on the trunk. But again, like that skateboard, I kind of want to stay away from copying that look of that skateboard, so this animal doesn't look real. I mean, when you draw anything, you can convince yourself that it's not real, because like, what? You're telling me I could be walking outside somewhere if I was in the right environment and I would just happen to come across one of these. I would be terrified. Terrified. But like, that's because I'm not in an environment that has these things just like at the park. You know, like it just hangs out in the field. I mean, maybe we'll see a stray cat once in a while, a deer, a raccoon. If we get real lucky, we see a possum. We see some rats in the city. That's no fun. So there we have our elephant. But these are none of the ones that I picked. This one was kind of cool, and I still do like this one where this elephant is throwing dirt over itself. I think it's kind of cool. You've got mail. Someone texted me? No. Interesting. So here we have another visual picture of an elephant throwing. I think this would look really cool if he was throwing a rainbow over him. Like if somehow I could turn like this into like a rainbow. You know, like from the dust. Should just be hitting this with the fatties. I'm not trying to like run the you know. Oh, this red might be seen better days. It definitely has. It's gonna make it through today. I don't know, something like that. That would look cool. But Okay. So now we get to all the questions. I see all the questions in the chat. How are we going to fit it on the board? What's going on? So the plan is that I'm going to draw an elephant, but it's going to be quite small. It's going to be little like this. I'm going to draw it on a corner. It might not be this small. I actually blew up the picture that I'm going to use. So the picture that I want to use is this picture. So here's a picture of an elephant, and it is spitting, or it's bathing basically, or drinking or something. It's caught in the act of doing something in the middle, and I just think this is an interesting pose for an elephant, and it's more dynamic, as if we could say that. So, oh, why are you fighting me so much? So, just to give it a quick little, idea of what we're doing, it's kind of hard to see in the black and white. Oh, that one doesn't work. Use my favorite pen. Good old G2 Univision. But he's got his trunk up like this. He's whipping some water. His head's tilted back. It's got a jawline. His tusks are coming out here. He looks happy, right? Like, this is an happy looking elephant if we were going to talk about an elephant looking happy. So we do a little bit of that. This water's cool. I wanted to do kind of like one of those floating cities of Atlantis, or the lost cities, and living on the giant animals' backs. I always think that's a cool story, if it may be. But every time I see it in a storyline where there's storyline video game, where they have these mystical cities on the backs of like sea turtles and elephants and titans that are destined to roam the world forever. I was thinking that's just a very neat storyline. So I've always wanted to draw one kind of from the imagination. Well, I believe this one's a female, so that's good. I didn't have to draw anything. But I do think I don't know. We'll have to work on figuring out how that'll work out and draw it. I might actually take this into the digital format and figure it out there, just because it might be a little bit easier. Now that I'm seeing it. But there you have like the basic, what I want to pull out of this. I'm going to leave all the bush and the branches behind. I'm just going to take out him, the water, which is also why I wanted to do the other elephant over here, saying it's a piranha. And let's just do a quick check over in quick check Tarzan elephant. It's a famous line. It's not that famous. Uh-oh. Oh, I can't hear it. This is definitely gonna get cut though. It's okay, you guys listen to it. I'm alright with it getting cut. It'll be fine. Ow! Ow.
There's something swimming! It's coming right at you! Honey, Mommy's losing her patience. But this time I really see something! Piranha! It's a piranha! But there are no piranhas in Africa. Don't tell the kid that. Of course there are piranhas in Africa.
Ow, I totally... Oh my goodness, what am I doing? I'm not even giving you the full effect. Sorry guys, let's start that over. Ow, I totally ran into my rocking.
Cantor, can't you see Mommy's talking?
What's his name?
Can't you see Mommy's...
Hold on.
It looks questionable to me. It's fine, honey. But what about bacteria? Cantor, can't you see Mommy's talking?
Oh man, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. There goes Tarzan.
Watch out! There's something swimming! It's coming right at you! Honey, Mommy's losing her patience. But this time I really see something! Oh boy. Piranha! It's a piranha! Sweetheart, there are no piranhas in Africa. Don't tell the kid that. Of course there are piranhas in Africa.
No, she's right. They're native to South America.
Get out of here!
Come on now. You think I can get the third word?
It's right there at you! For the last time, honey, there are no piranhas in my
That's what I need. I need that shot right there. It's a piranha. This one. Where he's looking up. That's kind of the same pose. And what's funny is you'll be like, I see what happened there. So look, if I go into the, never mind, let's do that big again. Let's go into the studio and we'll go into split screen. But if you can see, let me pull the chat down. We have similar poses. Right, head back, ears down, head back, ears down. Got a lot of forehead right here. It's a piranha. Going frame by frame. Somewhere in there. Oh, there we go with them swimming. Cantor is the name. All right. And here's how other things happen where I'll tangent and just end up watching a movie instead of working on a picture. So that's where we are with this. Now I was gonna run this through and do a bunch of work and get it put on the board, but I don't think we're going to do that. I will show you what the plan was for the whole project. So when we come back on Friday to talk about it again, hopefully I have I need to have white laid down at least by Friday. I refuse to get behind on projects now, so we're just gonna pump them out, and however good they turn out is where we get with them, because that's the point of this. If I keep delaying them and okay, well, I'll work on this one more next week, it's just gonna pile up a bunch of work, and I'm not happy with most of my artwork anyways, so it's a good way to just call it quits and give myself a good, time limit to actually finishing projects. Otherwise, I'll just keep paintings forever because they're never done. They're never going to be good enough to go out. So we're just going to keep working on stuff. So let's get to the elephant and let's just jump into the desktop. Nope, the studio. Great. Let's zoom out, because really what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just do a test fitting for size, and then we're going to head out for the evening. Because for some reason, I feel like I've been running around all day. So I was able to print it in a larger version, but just not as dark. I could have probably printed it darker if I had more time, but I didn't really have all that much time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our subject and I'm going to quickly just trim it, because that's going to be the easiest way to give everything a little bit more shape. And I don't really care about this piece of paper. I just want the image, really, and I just want it for size. If I was planning on using this image for tracing, I wouldn't cut it or I wouldn't cut it this close. I'm really cutting it all the way to the edge of the elephant. But if I was going to use it for tracing, I would just work with a little bit of edge. You want a little bit of edge because you want to have your pencil to write on, one solid surface as you go around. If you cut it like this to the edge and then put it onto your tracing paper, you may not, it's just going to make it a little bit more difficult to do your project. You can do it whatever way you want, of course. It's up to you, but these are just things that I've found help me. And then trim it all the way down. Fantastic. Great. We're doing great. I could even get even more interesting and kind of hit this and dig this out a little bit. But it's going to be kind of hard. So there you go, right? Something like that. That's what we're working with. Let's uncrease it. I shouldn't have folded it there anyways. Wasn't paying attention. I had a million things to do today, and this was just one of those things. So I'm thinking I'd put my subject matter, and see, this still may be too small. My subject matter on this side of the board. And I apologize that it's not darker. So go all the way across the board. Put my subject matter here. I don't know yet. It's not looking great. I think it needs to be bigger. Maybe it needs to be inversed. Maybe I need two. I put one on this side and one on that side. Put the UFO in the middle. I don't know. These are questions to be asked. I was thinking that I would have it a little bit bigger, so maybe not. Maybe this is the size it needs to be. I mean, it could work. It could work. But basically, we would have the entire bottom part would be the water and the water's reflection. And then we would, I gotta figure out how this is gonna tie together. You know, that's gonna be the big, how do we make it all fit? So if we go smaller, that's not the way to go. I mean, we could go smaller. Maybe I'll try something crazy with this skateboard. Maybe I should try to make myself a sticker that's a stencil so I can spray through it and come up with some cool design. Have my die cutter cut something cool. Because I have been thinking that I haven't been using that enough lately. And I do have a couple of projects I need to work on. So it might be a good way to kill two birds with one stone. I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry. I've said about 1.5 million words today. So I am definitely spent. But that is going to be it for this episode. We didn't actually get to any drawing, but I think that's kind of the point of going down the rabbit hole, is we're just trying to collect as much information as we can about things to come out with something that's cool and creative. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time to plan, and then execute is a whole different problem. So we're just working our way through those types of things. Yeah, brainstorming is definitely still a process. I wish it was quicker. My brainstorming is slow, and it takes a lot of time for me to do things. But it'll get better as I draw more things and I practice and I learn about more things. It'll get better. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys are having a great week. Happy Wednesday. We will be back here on Friday to check out what we've done here. I hopefully have done something. Usually Thursdays are not too busy, but you never know. Things are going to be happening. And then actually next week all the streams will change. Hopefully not the art stream, but I think the gaming streams will change because we go into winter sports and I will be helping out after school. So I won't be around to play video games after school, and that'll just have to either move to some other time slot or we'll go away completely for a few weeks. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. We will see you guys next time, and yeah, everyone have a good rest of your week. We'll see you on Friday. Peace.